Hello, my name is Tolg, and I exist, therefore I think too much. I'm going to read part 11 of the introduction to The Mirror of Simple Souls by Marguerite Porete. I got to like point 30 or something, and got a question that I couldn't answer, so I went back to read the introduction, which is why the videos are all twacky. And I'm a slow reader because I get frustrated and I rant. I also cuss. If you do not like cussing, don't watch this. You don't have to. If you do watch this, thanks. I appreciate it. I am going to be reading part 11 of the introduction, so hopefully I can get through it quickly. Let's see. Maybe not today. Probably not today. Okay. At this juncture, it is well to pause to consider briefly Marguerite's use of the term quote-unquote nothing or nothingness, which is important for the following discussion. Marguerite employs the term in two ways to indicate the relation of God and the soul. Most often, nothing or nothingness designates the soul's state in the fifth stage, where she remains in extreme humility without any will of her own, and only the divine will wills in her. Nothing in this case refers to the nothing from which God created all things, which would be something then. There is an argument that I got really spun out on by Da Vinci that a vacuum is not nothing, that it is something. And there's a theory, and it could have been proposed by someone else, but I'm working on it of my own accord because I don't look things up in depth, that the Big Bang was a black hole shitting us out. There are theories that exist that what we know of reality exists inside of a black hole. And again, I believe that the microscopic pattern of existence is the... Did I say micro? The microscopic pattern of existence is the macroscopic pattern of existence. It's just a repetitious pattern all the way through. So I think structures held together by existing both in a vacuum and having vacuums exist in that vacuum. And that these vacuums are essentially the friction that create is a recycling center. It takes a structured form of material and breaks it down, shits it out, and something can be made from that. So this Big Bang was shit out material that restructured and reformed. You cannot have everything without having nothing. That's the part I get spun out on. So there you go. There's a bit of my brain. Nothing in this case refers to the nothing from which God created all things. This sort of nothing is thus related to the soul's existence in God before she was created. God's womb. Maybe Ariana Grande was right. At the moment of creation, when God created from nothing, the soul was this nothing, but lost this nothingness when she willed independently from God. Oh, I do not think that's what makes you something, but okay, that's where we differentiate. The soul lost her nothingness and became another thing, in the sense that created beings are distinct from God and from one another. The other meaning of nothing is apparent also. Hell no. If God is infinite, then a creation from God is nothing more than a different form being a part of God. Not being God in and of itself, but essentially like a fingernail on the body being representative of God. You could be a red blood cell, someone else could be a white blood cell, you could be a hair follicle, you know? All individual existence is all a part of God, but you don't have God without everything ultimately coming together. You will never understand the objective or the big picture without being God itself. Your creation, being an individual and becoming something, doesn't take away from God. It's just in my understanding, God understanding itself better by you living out your own individuality and having free will. Otherwise, why would God do that? In the sense that created beings are distinct from God and from one another. The other meaning of nothing is apparent, also in the sense of something less than God. Everything is less than God if God is infinite. So everything is nothing? Damn, that's morose. God is true being or existence, the one who truly is. Compared with the divine nature, the created nature of the soul is nothing. Jesus Christ, you just keep shitting on God. Somebody praises God, I don't think you like it at all. The Beguine theologian moves between these two perspectives with little warning. Something which can make her writing difficult to follow for her 20th century reader. That's not the reason it's difficult to follow. The reason it's difficult to follow for me is because she was a woman in 1300 when women weren't given proper education, so even though she could read and write, it is very unstructured and repetitive. That's why it's hard to follow. Giving it the sense of mysticism is misleading. Because of her view of the absolute distinction between the divine nature and the nature of the soul, the Beguine theologian sets up a dialectic in order to describe the relation between God and the soul. What is predicted of the soul is therefore negated of God, and what is predicted of God is negated of the soul. I don't think you like God at all. Therein, I do not think you like yourself. And then apparently this is the Beguine, this is Porete writing. Lord, you are one goodness, through overflowing goodness, and all in yourself. And I am one wretchedness, through overflowing wretchedness, and all in myself. Lord, you are, and thus everything is perfected through you, and nothing is made without you, and I am not, and thus everything is made without me, and nothing is made through me. Lord, you are all power, all wisdom. There is a part in the Bible. You are my hands. You are my hands and my feet, and through you I will perform miracles or works. Something like that. Damn, dude. Lord, you are all power, all wisdom, and all goodness, without beginning, without being contained, and without end. And I am all weakness, all ignorance, and all wretchedness, without beginning, without being contained, and without end. Just shit on the creation that God made. Why not? Given this dialectic, the soul can understand her wretchedness only insofar as she can understand God's goodness. Fuck. And what the soul understands of God's goodness is what she understands of her own wretchedness. That's not good. Okay, take it less abstract and bring it down to something relatable. What I understand of other people's goodness is what I understand of my weakness. Okay, there's this phenomenon that happens, and it's a huge irritant of mine. I'd say pet peeve, but I think I overutilize that. I find it incredibly irritable every single time someone does it. I have it good because someone else has it worse. How do you fucking know they think they have it worse than you? That's disgusting behavior. And this is the inverse of it. I am fucking awful. That means you're fucking great. That's putting someone, and it's God, so pedestal granted, but I don't know that one defines the other. While I expect contrast to exist and accept that it exists, I still understand that change is the only constant. And I don't respect someone taking away from a moment on the premise that it is less than what is deserved less than expectations. I've met people that choose to be homeless, and people exist and say, well, that's really selfish, they're ruining society for everybody. Okay, there are nomadic tribes that exist, and nobody said that of them. It's just that modern society is so in need of forever comforting themselves, always agitated and always looking for something to be agitated about so they don't have to pay attention to their own shit. You don't know that the person that lost their leg has it worse than you. And it creates this really sick endemic of people taking pride in being less than. And it creates this incredible division in humanity. If I can't earn this, at least I earned this. Fuck the rich. They don't have my experience. Why can't the inverse of that? Why can't that be your outlook? Why do you have to be such a negative cunt? Why can't you say, fuck, I love my experience? Great for them, they have a castle. I have this. Isn't that fucking awesome? Why is it preferred that we all entertain negativity? Negativity will exist whether we want it to or not. There's no reason to entertain it more than you entertain anything else in life. Huge irritant of mine. Given this dialectic, the soul can understand her wretchedness only insofar as she can understand God's goodness. And what the soul understands of God... Oh, I already read that. My bad. The soul's understanding of this dialectic relation brings her to the understanding of herself and of God, where the soul understands nothing if she does not understand her wretchedness, and the soul now has the ability to understand divine goodness by means of her wretchedness. Highly fucking doubt that. We should note here that the soul has means of her wretchedness. No, I read the sentence above. Whoopsies. We should note here that the soul has not been given a new ability. I would think not, given how, depressed they are. I don't think they have the ability to do just general things, let alone new things. Rather, the understanding has been expanded to include the dialectic relation, and now the ability, already strengthened by the ardor of the sad soul, is further empowered and expanded to complete the perfection of its enterprise, which is to attain the will of God. This expanded understanding will, in turn, enlarge her love and make it ready for transformation. If God is all-powerful, why does anything need to be ready to be transformed? Would not God just be able to transform? Okay, another rant, and I'm going to end it there because I'm just not a happy camper, so you get a really, really short video today. The other rant, I used to be like hyper Christian, bordering evangelist. I think the people that ran our private church was like born from a Baptist kind of background. Not Baptist, but they came from Tennessee, so evangelist. And maybe Baptist. But yeah, and in high school, you get around people that are challenging everything in life if they have the ability to think for themselves. Very lucky individuals if they do. And they ask the question, if God is all-powerful and perfect, omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, figured it out. I think that was the other video, though. Whoops. Then can God create a rock too heavy for God to lift? Yes. Because if God is everything, actually the word that means everything, then you are a part of God. So this sense of everything, another part of God can create a rock that this part of God is too small to lift. Or this everything can create a rock that, I cannot fucking lift. I can't lift a whole hell of a lot. Ta-da! So there's that. I'm going to go make hot chocolate. And on that note, drink well, eat well, sleep well, be well. Do well in life if you want to. No one's holding you to it. Bye-bye.